Hello Facebook ads people, I'm Konstantinos and today we're going to talk about my visit on the Meta headquarters in Ireland. First of all, I would like to say the reason that I went there is because, Meta is actually calling some of the advertisers as a part of a loyal program or whatever that may be based on the spend, okay? I have some other accounts that are spending a lot of money, so I have been invited there so that they can inform us about the new ways of advertisement and stuff. If you're bored to watch the whole video or whatever, and you're trying to see if there's any crazy information about it, I can tell you from now, just to save you some time, that they have learned anything new, but I have seen the way that they operate, and I think that maybe this is valuable for you to know. So as you can see in these pictures, it's an amazing place, having a lot of cafeterias inside and a lot of open space. People can go and they can do their break, and there are people that they go to the conference room A, B, C, they meet with their teams and all of that. It's just a corporate world, you know, there's a security. In order to enter, you need to have your own card. Then you go to these spaces that it's a free open space where everyone can work anywhere that they want. They have also their personal workspaces. It's a big tech company, you know, like any tech company that you would know. I kind of understand Elon Musk going there. So, you know, when you go from a factory that you are building cars and everybody's working, and you go in a space like this, you have the idea that everybody's slacking and they're not even working and they're just having 3-hour breaks all the time and everything. You could even take a shower there or go do yoga or whatever that may be. There's even a soft ice cream there. There's a specific hours that they go and they eat. All of that, you know, just a very relaxed place to work and stuff. I don't know how it's working, but all I know is that customer support is not good. I know that Meta reps are not doing the work that they're supposed to do a lot of times and everything. And we're going to go and deep dive a little bit in what is the reason and what I understood from my visit there. So in the main event, we had some of the people that they talked. First, it was the leader of the area leader or the area manager, because in these headquarters they have the Europe, Africa and Middle East, I believe, that they are managing all the operations over there. This woman, let's call it for now CEO, okay? CEO is Mark, but let's call it CEO of the region, okay? This CEO was on the stage talking about how many people they employ and all of this corporate stuff that I don't care about, to be honest. I don't care if you employ 120 different nationalities or whatever that may be. I just care about the product, if it's good or bad, and I expect from you to tell me what are you going to do to improve it. They told me that they have spent I don't know the number just out of the top of my head. I think, yeah, it's 33 billion spent on AI, and they're going to spend even more. So this is one thing that I have learned, that they are focusing mostly on AI and broad targeting. There are no engineering teams. This is what I suppose. Nobody actually confirmed that for me, but when I was asking them, they were just telling me do broad, and they were just focusing on that. And I believe the reason is that there are no engineering teams, that they're actually right now working with interests or lookalikes or whatever. Mostly their focus is on broad targeting, and they try to make broad targeting by just making it better and better to actually work even for new ad accounts. The CEO kept talking about how much money they are investing to this and that and what they are doing and all of that. So nothing important from that. The next speeches were actually not important also in terms of something that I would learn something new. For example, they were talking about how good Advantage Plus is and that you should do broad targeting. They talked also a lot about consolidation, which you know that we are against that on this channel, and I have some previous case studies that they prove that consolidation is not the solution when it goes to that, because you don't have control on the bad periods. This is also another thing that I realized in the year that passed, that you cannot just go and do just one campaign, and when a bad period is coming from Facebook, you just do nothing and you wait for everything to be fixed. You're not flexible on that. Also, consolidation is not possible with companies that they are actually having a lot of products that they go out of stock. If you have 20 products and some of those are going to go out of stock, you cannot just close and open the campaigns. They were proposing crazy things like having an Advantage Plus, put the creatives from Black Friday inside there, close the other ads, leave the Black Friday creatives, and then let them run for Black Friday, then close the Black Friday ads and add the creatives and turn on the creatives that you had before. Some crazy things like that. And they were proposing a lot reach campaigns. I don't know the reason. The reason now is that there's a new thing that says that you should run a lot of reach campaigns in order for you to reach more and more people, because you're not reaching a lot. And I have even been to a room that they were presenting to me that, I'm just giving random numbers, we have reached 10 million people in the last 12 months, and the frequency that we had was 0.78. And when I told them that there is no way that we can have a frequency which is below 1, they told me that these are the numbers and stuff. They didn't even realize what they were showing to me. The reason for that is because they had a presentation which was prepared by someone that he was just dividing the frequency with the months without taking the average of all of these months, so that we can have a normal number of frequency. Because either they are lying about the, let's say, 10 million that we reached, and it means that if we have 0.78 frequency, we reach 7.8 million, for example. It's not like that, I know, but just to give a very easy, stupid explanation. But if we don't have one frequency, it means that we haven't reached 10 million people. So there's a lie somewhere here. So, in other words, I met with a lot of people, and I have seen a lot of discussions from people that I know that they haven't even been in an ads manager. And I'm going to explain what happened in a workshop, actually, when we had over there one case study. They divided us in different groups because after the main speeches that I told you, these are all the things that I have learned in the main speeches: reach, do Advantage Plus, do broad, and do consolidation. This is the biggest thing that everybody talked. Before we go to the workshop, even there is a guy who talked on the Meta conference, is a guy that I met, and we were in the workshop actually together after that. A guy that I could understand that he knew about Facebook ads, because he was talking about how he scaled a business of doing 1.5 million per month on spend on a lot of different countries. And I was actually amazed, and I approached him after and I told him, I don't believe that you're doing all of that with consolidation. Are you sure? And he turns to me and says, I hate consolidation. So basically, even the people that they were talking on the speech, they were not doing the things that the Meta wants them to do on the platform, and they do it in another way. In other words, Meta has a very good algorithm, but the people that they are working over there, they don't understand. And my only hope was that I was going to be able to meet one of the engineering team or someone there, because I cannot believe that Advantage Plus has been made from people that they don't understand how ads are made and how are they running within the ads manager. I believe that there are people working there, but I believe that 80% or 90% of the whole people working there, they have no idea about Facebook ads and how they work. They just follow the guidelines that they get. And there's another 10% or 5% that is actually knowing what they're doing, and they're the engineering team. But I was not lucky enough to meet any of them. And that's the logic way of thinking it, right? If Meta says something, you should follow it because they are the ones that they have created. Well, it's not like this, because consolidation doesn't work in the way that they want to. I don't know why they're pushing consolidation. I do truly believe that they try to make the platform super easy for everyone so that everyone can use it. But at the end of the day, we need to understand that in bigger spends, it's very difficult actually to just have one campaign spending everything, or if you have different products and everything. And I don't know why they're not understanding that, and they try to push it so much. Pushing other things like reach campaign, I do see on their eyes that they do believe that this is going to help you but they don't understand that when this comes from Meta, it's coming as another way for them so that all the advertisers can spend more money in a reach campaign, which is not going to give them anything, but it's just going to give some extra revenue so that they can hit their numbers at the end of the quarter or whenever that may be. Also, they don't understand that they are having some problems with customer support, because when somebody is doing customer support and he's replying to you with an article within Meta, this is not a reply. This article doesn't say anything. For example, if you say to someone, how can I increase my spending limit? And this is what is happening actually. You're talking with one person, second person, third person, fourth person, they all give you the same template answers because they don't care, or they have to go for a break for 2-3 hours or whatever that may be. And at the end of the day, somebody is going to solve it for you. Do you know how? Someone who has solved it for someone else before. So basically, experience over here is something that is problematic. I have also learned that they have laid off 1 out of 3 people over there. And the problem with that is that all of these people, they have left from customer support or other places, and this has made the situation even worse. On the whole August, we have a whole huge issue with rejected ads, which is now being fixed slowly. Customer support is not good. So it's not only about the fact that somebody was showing me a presentation with 0.7 frequency. It's not about the fact that they were talking about consolidation. It's not about the fact that they were talking about reach campaigns. I do realize in the workshop that the people that was doing the workshop, the actual presentation, wasn't the person that has ever run any ads. Let me tell you why. There was a case study that they were telling us how would you approach this ad account, what would you do in order to fix it. It was giving cost per acquisition of $2 in United States. For people that they see us right now, it's almost impossible, okay? Or Ireland, it's possible also on Ireland, or United Kingdom, I don't know. Then it was having a lookalike of 3%, which was 3 million. It was having a broad in this ad account, let's say. It was having another, it wasn't an account, it was just written there, it wasn't a pre-screen. Then it was having a broad targeting of women, female, 18 to 40 years old, which was actually 10 million people, only women. Broad, a wellness audience, broad targeting men and women, all ages, which was 7 million, and beauty, which was 6 million. Whoever is running ads knows that these numbers don't make any sense. Why? You cannot have a 3% lookalike, which is 3 million, and have a broad targeting of women in this range of ages and be 10 million, and then the beauty, it's going to be 6 million. These numbers don't make sense. Why am I saying that? You are going to make a presentation to some people that are coming from all over Europe or wherever they're coming from, and you don't have the you don't have the...
A few moments later.
Sorry for this. So you don't find it necessary to actually go and actually open Ads Manager, check your numbers so that you can give a proper case study. This person has sit down in a room and he has done a presentation with numbers just out of their head, which makes me think, if I was going to have people coming all over the world, advertisers, would I ever expose myself to something like this? No, because I do care. I don't want people to call me someone that doesn't know what he's talking about. Second thing, I would have done a proper case study by opening the Ads Manager, showing proper numbers over there, and showing actually that I know what I'm talking about. We're talking about people that they haven't even touched an Ads Manager and they just talk about theory without ever run any ads. So what's the problem with that? The problem with that is that you cannot go and you can consult people if you haven't run any campaign on yourself. What I would do, I would strongly suggest Mark, and most probably it's never going to happen, but I don't give a I would strongly suggest to Mark, take these people to run campaigns, even on a demo account. Make them run campaigns. How the are they going to talk about interests or lookalikes if they haven't created in any interest or any, if they haven't created any lookalike, if they don't know the process of creating a lookalike, if they don't know how it is to have big interests or smaller interests, if they don't know that interests have been removed, if they just read theory, and they don't know how it's implemented. Is it going to be difficult to have one workshop every month that everybody stays on a PC in your luxury offices and actually make them to actually do a campaign in the ads manager, even if it's a demo account. You can create a demo account. Everybody would have the feeling of how it is to create a campaign. Okay, they will never be super experienced, but they will understand the whole situation. And I do understand that as a company, you have to push the agenda of doing broad targeting, which is working, okay, but why nobody is mentioning that in the new ad accounts broad targeting is not working? And what are they going to do, all of these people? Do you want them to advertise or not? No, you're not going to say that, okay, broad targeting is not working on your ad accounts. You will just say test everything and see how it's going to work. And this is the way that we also talk as advertisers, how to understand it, because Facebook is an uncertain platform. But if you see it at the end of the day, you will have to understand that the new businesses also matter, because maybe they're going to become big enough and they're going to start spending. So not giving them the option of actually being able to do other things and you focusing only on broad targeting, while some people, they're not going to be able to kickstart their campaigns because of that. It means that you don't care. You just see the bigger picture in the future as a big company that you are. And you're just saying, okay, we're just going to try broad until we reach a point that even the new ad accounts are going to work with broad targeting, and we don't care what is going to happen in the meanwhile. That's all the things that I'm realizing about Meta in my visit. Even when I didn't meet anyone from the engineering team, I asked to meet someone, and I gave a list of questions, and they told me that these questions are not part of the ad account that I'm managing. And how is it possible to make a technical question? For example, how an Advantage Plus is working, okay? Is it with AI? Is our ideas about having one dominant ad correct? How am I going to address a question which is only tailor-made? It's a technical question, okay? How is it going to be only tailor-made to one ad account that I'm actually managing right now? Anyway, all of these issues, and I feel like all of these people working there in this such great environment made them not care about the product, and no training at all to understand the ads manager and how it's working, and just theory, being brainwashed and just believe whatever Facebook says because they don't have their own opinion, okay? And I just don't like it the way that it is. Am I going to go again? Most probably not, because it's a waste of time. Okay, as one-time experience, it was okay, but I didn't manage to find someone, apart from the guy that I met, who was a guy who had a lot of experience running ads. I haven't met anyone else at my level so that I can speak to. Even the executives, they didn't want to speak about technical things. They just wanted to speak about general things about Meta or whatever, and they were irritating if you make any question which was on the technical level. So I'm not going to miss them. They're not going to miss me. It's fine. But for me, it was a fail because I didn't manage to actually have a communication with someone from the engineering team, which is what I want to, because all of these people, they are just unreachable, and you just talk with salespeople or executives or reps or whatever that may be, which have their own goals of selling you to do reach campaigns or whatever that may be. And for me, this is not enough because I want to go deeper and understand more things about the algorithm. If you want to learn more, you can check my book, my course, my paid and free course, my website. And because I'm super annoyed right now from all the things that they said, don't forget, be creative, be consistent, and I will see you guys on the next video.